Hey everybody. Oh, there we are. Hello everyone. Welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats. I am your host, Chris Helms. Gini is away on assignment. She's sitting upstairs on the sofa preparing for an important phone call. So this will be a rare time she won't be on, and you're just going to be dealing with me. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be fun because I'm doing it on my laptop. Normally I use my phone, and so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to read your questions using my phone, and I'm going to speak in my computer here, so I'm glad you're all really excited to hear that. What's up, Rich? Hello, Maureen. So, a lot of you on. Surely I can make this thing work. I'm like totally useless without Genie here. Alright, so tonight is going to be Q&A. I got to be honest with you, I was about this close from having to cancel because I wanted to be on the call with her. She's having a call, let's just say, with a very important president, and who's a good friend of ours, so we never ever avoid his calls. I wish I could be on as well. You should also notice that I've got the closed captioning on. If it says something I didn't say, blame Facebook. When we're using the laptop as a computer, it'll actually put the captions on there now. So a lot of you have asked for it, so thankfully it's there. So anyways, as I was saying, I wasn't even going to do this tonight. And right before, and I literally had a Facebook comment up where I was going to say, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go on tonight because of this phone call. And then Jeannie read me a comment on Facebook. Someone said that they were getting a $19,000 bill from their hospital. And it was a voicemail. And so I heard the voicemail, and the lady sounded really disturbed, maybe like she was tearful. And that was it. I just kind of lost it. Went and put my new army green shirt on and said, let's do this. So I do want to address that tonight as well. We're going to do Q&A, so I'll answer your questions. And so whatever you got, bring it. But I want to discuss with you why these doctors and hospitals are billing you and how you can avoid that and get rid of those bills. So stay tuned for that. I want to also say, a little housekeeping. Take a look at breakingowcp.com. I have found a way to put my books in your pocket. breakingowcp.com, www.breakingowcp.com. So I wrote these two books during COVID. A lot of you know it, some of you are new. And we've sold thousands of copies of it. But still, I'm getting all these questions like, what about a CA-16? And, my supervisor won't pay me my COP. And when am I eligible for a schedule award? And, all these questions. And this is after, we do this every week. And so many of you have the books. So what I'm going to do is only have the book as a PDF download from now on. I know a lot of you are like me. You like to hold your books. I got a whole bookshelf full of books. I wrote these. I've even read them. And I still like having them around because I'm a book guy. I'm a nerd like that. But the truth is, if you have it on a PDF, you can put it on your phone. And so, again, it's breakingowcp.com. I made this post the other day, and it's like this. You get the books as a PDF. It doesn't matter what device you download it onto initially. From there, you email it to yourself, and then you can open it on your phone, and when you open it on your phone, you can save it to your phone's files. I did this already, so I know it works easily. And then, if any supervisor or anybody gives you a hard time or tells you something that's clearly not true, or at least sounds funny to you, instead of saying, I wish I had my book with me, or going out to a locker or wherever you keep your stuff in a purse or whatever, because you're one of those people that keep the books with you, you can instead just go right to your phone, and you can say to your supervisor, but here's what it says about the CA-16. It says you have 4 hours to give it to me. No, this says I get copies of everything, or no, this says I have 30 days before I can still have COP, or 3 years to file an injury. You'll be able to show the actual code of federal regulations, the U.S. code, the rules, the laws, or regulations from your phone right now in real time. And it's as easy as just getting familiar with the table of contents, because I made the book easy to understand, easy to search, so you can just go right to the table of contents and find the chapter on CA16s, or find the chapter on rules, laws, and regulations, or find the chapter on, well, these are the rules, laws, and regulations too, that tell you the U.S. code and the code of federal regulations that say you can file as long as it's within 3 years. So I encourage you to download the books. They're only $5 a piece, plus sales tax, which I can't avoid. And then you can download them in real time and put them on your phone. And now you've got Breaking OWCP in your pocket. So I hope you'll do that. A lot of people have done it already, like 10 people a day already. So be like the smart kids and put Breaking OWCP in your phone. So I got a lot of people on tonight. I already said hi to Rich. Maureen's on. Wanda, Juanita. Wow, there's a lot of people on. Mary Golden, hello. Oh, somebody fell Monday and broke 2 ribs. That's a CA1. Hopefully you got a CA16 as well. That'll pay your medical bills in the first 60 days. Boy, Marty, hello, good evening. Peggy, hey, what's up? Sherry, hello. Kelly, hey. I got a lot of people on tonight. This is really great. Marcus Tolliver, you're welcome. I'm sure that wasn't to me, but I'll give it to you anyways. Hello, everyone. So go ahead and you can write your questions, whatever issues you're dealing with in federal workers' comp, OWCP, with your supervisors, anything. This is a time for that. So you ask your questions, and I will answer. Rondi, you ask if there's a link. There's not. I'm sure somebody will post it there, but it's www.breakingowcp.com, just like the title to the book you see here, breakingowcp.com. So check that out. I know it'll be helpful. Having it in your pocket will be fantastic. Wow, Janice, hi. Pat, hello. Holly, Juanita, Cecilia. All right, so everyone's on. Nobody's asking questions yet. So while I'm waiting on questions, let's talk about this issue about the money, because it was really upsetting to me to hear someone be so upset. So someone called and said, I've got a $19,000 bill from the hospital after an OWCP claim. What do I do? That's a nightmare, all right? But what happens is these medical offices, and remember, I come from a background of management and healthcare. Ever since I was 20 years old, and I'm 47 now, I've always worked in doctor's offices, and I've primarily focused on OWCP. But by working in doctor's offices, I mean I'm running doctor's offices. I'm the operations manager of these practices. And I can tell you that a lot of doctors don't do good training with their staff. Most of the time their training is not even in writing, which is kind of sad. And so people are just kind of left to hoping what the last person told them was right. You have that. You have some that just don't get trained at all. And even if they're really well trained, most of the time offices are not at all trained in OWCP. So what will happen is you'll get there, you'll even have a CA16 maybe, if you're fortunate enough that your supervisor gave it to you. And the doctor or hospital or whatever will say, do you have insurance? And you'll say, well, this is work comp. Great, so they see you. But then they send you a bill. Well, that's because A, they didn't get the CA16 from you. B, they did get the CA16 but didn't know what to do with it. Including C, the doctor didn't fill out the first page, or the second page, of the CA16. And if they had the CA16, and if they filled it out right, they didn't turn it in to OWCP. And even if they wanted to turn it into OWCP, they didn't have a claim number or anything with which to submit it. So one thing you can do is make sure that the doctor or the hospital or whoever has your claim number. Now, obviously, you're not going to have a claim number right away, but within 10 days to 2 weeks, you should have a claim number. That doesn't mean your claim's accepted. It just means you have a claim number. And you can take that claim number and go take it to the hospital, go take it to the doctor, the urgent care, and say, please put this on file. This is what you're going to need to bill for the services you provided to me. If you have a CA16, that'll start paying your bills right away for the first 60 days. And then the doctor can take that CA-16 and attach it to all the other documentation for the services provided and send that in to get paid. Then they'll get paid and not bill you. So that's the number one thing, is they don't have a claim number or they don't have or know how to handle your CA-16. And so you got to make that happen. Too many people go to the doctor or to the hospital and they think these people are experts. They know what they're doing. There's nothing for me to do except for be the hurt person on the bed. But the truth is they have no idea what to do. And because I just told you what I just told you, you know infinitely more than what almost all of them know. So don't allow them to send you a bill. Instead, preempt it. Get the claim number, get a CA-16. And, you know, somebody with a $19,000 bill, what if that lady had a CA-16? No bill. Now you see why it's so important that you get that form. And still, too many people aren't getting it. Supervisors say, I don't have to give it to you, or you're not hurt bad enough, or I don't know how to find it, or whatever the excuses are. But the rules in the Code of Federal Regulations that you'll find in this book specifically state in the Code of Federal Regulations that the supervisors are required to give you a CA-16 as long as you report your CA-1 claim within 7 days of the injury. Well, as I always say, what's the best time to report an injury? Now. The soonest possible time to do anything is now. So when you report now, you're eligible for your CA-16, and then you have to demand it, okay? Insist on getting this form. It pays all of your bills for the first 60 days. It pays that $19,000 hospital bill, so you don't have to. So who would like to pay the $19,000 hospital bill? Okay, hit a bunch of love buttons right now if you want to pay the $19,000 hospital bill instead of getting a CA-16. And sit and think for a second, how would you feel if you were the one that got the $19,000 bill instead of a CA-16? I think there's a lot of mad faces that should be coming here, okay? If you're hearing what I'm saying, not getting a CA-16 cost you dearly. So you can't allow that to happen. You've got to get your CA-16s no matter what. And for your union reps, stewards, presidents, vice presidents, when your folks come to you and say, I didn't get my CA-16, do something about it. Help. Okay, help them file a grievance. Give them the rules if they don't have the rules. You're here watching and maybe they're not. Tell them what they can do to be successful in this. Another thing you can all do, going back to my website, breakingowcp.com, there's a tab there called Free Downloads. If you go to the Free Downloads tab, I've got a form there for how you can request your CA-16. It is complete with all the rules. Look, the mad faces are still coming. It's complete with all the rules pertaining to the CA-16, and you even get to say, because you know they got 4 hours to give it to you, you have the time requested and the time you received it. And so when you write those times down exactly, then you can use those to file a grievance if you don't get it in 4 hours, because in 4 hours and 1 minute you have a grievance to file, because the law is clear. They have 4 hours to give it to you from the claimed injury. So as soon as you claim the injury or tell them about it and you say, give me a CA-16, they owe it to you in 4 hours. So, you know, this woman had a $19,000 bill. That's not uncommon. We see it all the time. People telling me, Chris, I got bills from my surgeon. I got bills from the ER. That happens all the time from the ER. From the urgent care, they're billing me. I was in Chicago years ago, and a carrier, city carrier, to be precise, had been sent to a doctor by the supervisor, okay, the urgent care. And this urgent care that the supervisor sent her to was sending her bills to her house because the urgent care didn't have a damn clue on how to bill OWCP. So you got to be careful with that. And that's another reason you also have to choose your own doctors, okay? Make proper choices for doctor. You go to the hospital, maybe it's an emergency, you have to. But if you don't have to, take an extra day to find your doctor, like the rules allow for you to do. You can be forced to go to the urgent care, or you can take the extra time to find your doctor, someone who knows how to bill OWCP, because it's a nightmare when you get someplace and they don't even know how to handle your CA-16, okay, which happens too often. So to recap this problem, give them your claim number. Insist on a CA-16. Be sure your doctor gets a copy of the CA-16. And by the way, tell your doctor they have to fill out that second page and sign it and send it in to get paid. Tell your doctor you must send this form in to get paid. Let them know stuff. Educate them because they don't know, I assure you. We are beginning to work with a network of surgeons and other specialists. And the key selling point for them is that I'm doing their billing for them because they don't know how. They don't have the slightest clue how to pre-authorize and bill or how to get credentialed. And so you go there and you're stuck with using your health insurance or, which means co-pays and deductibles and expensive deductibles for surgery, right? Versus when I handle it for them, they don't have to worry about it. They just see you for free like they're supposed to. So tell your doctors what to do. Explain to them how to bill OWCP. They don't know. And when you don't know, tell them to call me. I'll help them, of course. So let me see if I've got any questions here now. Remember, I'm on a phone and a computer tonight. My partner in crime ditched me to get on a phone call. Just kidding. It's a really important call. So... I don't want to miss any. Gini's so good at not missing questions. Okay, I think I got it. Janice, thank you. She said both of my books are awesome. Rich said too. I really appreciate you guys saying that. Wanda, it's her first time tuning in live. Wanda, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're really happy to have you here. Wanda reminds me, you all have an opportunity now to share. Please do that and come back. Hit the share button. If you're here, by the way, don't leave without hitting the follow button. When you follow, you'll see it go live every time. So follow and share, and like it because hopefully you do. So yeah, Wanda, thanks for being here. Sherry says you're definitely getting the book. I'm glad it's going to be handy in your pocket. Should I pay for scripts, Tammy asks, and treatment myself while my case is under review? Okay, so Tammy's asking, my case isn't accepted yet. Should I pay this stuff out of my pocket? My answer is no. If you go to a federal injury center's office, nobody ever takes money, ever. It's our job to get your case accepted. Okay, if it's not accepted yet, we just haven't done it yet. We'll get paid later. Don't worry about us. You shouldn't worry about the doctor. If the doctor is insisting that you pay out of your pocket, then be sure you get an OWCP 915 form. Keep track of your expenses. Get your receipts from your doctor, staple them or whatever, paperclip them to your 915 form, and as soon as your claim is accepted, turn those in for reimbursement. Don't continue to pay out of your pocket. I don't want you to ever pay, but if you're stuck in a place where there's not a federal injury center's office, get an OWCP 915 form and get ready to get reimbursed for your out-of-pocket expenses. Rhonda said, how long do you have to file the paperwork for continuation of pay? I've been approved but haven't filed paperwork yet. Okay, so you had to file paperwork. Let me explain how, if you've been approved. If you got COP, that means you had a CA1 claim. A CA1 claim means you got an injury that happened in a single shift. If you report your injury that happened in a single shift with a CA1 claim, if you report it within 30 days of the injury, then you're eligible for COP. And box 15 at the bottom of the first page of the CA1 is how you want to get paid. A is continuation of pay, B is sick and annual leave. Maybe the other way around, but I'm pretty sure it's that way. So you select COP at that point. But if you don't know what the supervisor said on the second page, box 36, which is the last question on the second page, says to the supervisor, if you intend to controvert continuation of pay, state your reason why. If your supervisor intends for you not to get paid, you ain't getting paid. So you need to get a copy of that second page of your CA1 so that you won't be blind to the fact that you're not getting a paycheck and you can figure out why and fix it, including getting help from your union and talking to your supervisor. So how long do you have to file? You have to file your CA1 within 30 days in order to be eligible for COP. Next question. Rich, yeah. Did you get the memo yet? We're told OWCP will no longer be taking claims in paper form. Do you have any info on that? I have heard that as well. In fact, Rich, the new CA10 form that was just revised this past October, now it says to file all of your claims using eComp. So I think they're pretty serious about that. They're trying to go electronic on everything. What I like about it is that, from what I'm hearing, is all your forms are stored on your eComp account. And so, like for the lady before who may not have seen what the supervisor said on page 2, that should be available on eComp. You ought to be able to download and print. So that's one of the upsides to it. The other upside, I think, to having to use eComp, I was just telling somebody else this last night. I was talking to Mr. Hodge on his podcast in Ohio last night. That another upside to this is when you go to eComp, nobody can stop you from going to eComp and filing a claim. No supervisor can say, no, don't file that claim, I'm going to fire you, or whatever, right? Because you get to just go do it. And as long as you know your supervisor's email, eComp will just send them an email saying, hey, your turn, fill out page 2. And they have 10 days to do that. And there are rules for that. So if they don't fill it out in 10 days, you have a grievance. And if they refuse to fill it out, you should call OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, and ask them, is it a violation of safety protocol for me not to be able to report a work injury, as you say is my 6th employee right on your website? I'm guessing they're going to say that is a violation. But why don't you ask? Next question. I wanted to know why my claim keeps getting closed. Claims get closed for a number of reasons. One reason your claim is closed is your approved diagnosis is something mild like a strain. And your claims examiner says, well, that probably should have resolved already, and so it's closed. Another reason it'll close is your bills didn't get to $1,500. Believe it or not, the claims examiners are charged with closing your claim if your bill doesn't hit $1,500, and I forget what period of time, but pretty quick. And $1,500 is actually easy. Believe it or not, there are some knee braces and back braces that cost almost that much. So that's what it takes. But when they close it for that purpose, the good thing is, as soon as the bill actually hits $1,500, and I just read this yesterday from a claims examiner, once the bill hits $1,500, the claim will automatically reopen. So no problem. You should also be aware that there's a difference between open and accepted and closed and denied. A claim can be open but not accepted. It can be closed but not denied or accepted. Okay, it's just not. They just said, okay, we're done here, and your doctor sends in documentation and bills to get it reopened. So those are 2 reasons why it would keep getting closed. If you're not sure why it keeps getting closed, none of this makes sense, you can call OWCP directly. In fact, if everyone tonight, go to federalinjurycenters.com and check the OWCP forms tab. The newest CA10 is there. And the newest CA10 has a phone number at the bottom that says if you're having any issues with OWCP, you can call it. That's new to this new CA10, so call it. And then, you can ask directly, why is my case getting closed? All right, Michelle Piper, when your doctor sends you back to work 4 hours light duty, and all the proper paperwork is filled out and sent in, example to 7 and 7A, and OWCP denies it, what would be the possible issue? Well, if you turned in your CA7 and 7A and they are perfectly filled out, the 2 questions are this. Number 1, is your claim approved? Because if it's not approved, you're getting denied until your claim is approved. And number 2, did you attach the proper documentation? Proper documentation includes a CA17, a CA20, both of which you can get from my website, but the CA17 should come from your supervisor. You also need a printout of your appointments for any time you're out of work. That way you can prove you're at the doctor. And the last thing is what we call a disability narrative. And a disability narrative is how your doctor describes medically the reason that you need to be out of work. Attach those things and your odds of getting paid go way up. Let's see. What is the procedure for a recurrence? That's a good question, Rhonda. So a recurrence is filed by filling out a form CA2A. So what happens is you had a claim that was previously approved, like a CA1 or 2, it doesn't matter, but it was previously approved, and at some point closed. Like I said, claims get closed for a number of reasons. It had resolved, you were as good as you were going to get, maybe you're back to work, and then you have another occurrence of what seems like the same condition, like you had a knee problem and your knee starts to hurt again. Well, what most supervisors will tell you to do is go fill out the CA2A right now. It must be a recurrence. It's to the knee, just like before. So what I tell everyone is don't do that. Not so fast. Okay, you might end up having to do it. But instead, I want you to go to your doctor and get an evaluation and ask your doctor, is this a recurrence or is this something new? I like to use myself as an example. I have ACL tears and reconstructions in both of my knees. And I've been dealing with that since I was 16. But still, if another ligament in the middle of my knee was torn, I wouldn't know the difference between that one and the original one. So I would not assume it's a recurrence because it could be another ligament. It could be cartilage or a tendon or anything else. And so you want to go to the doctor and make sure it is a recurrence because it could be something new that you'd file in a CA1 or a CA2. But if you do a recurrence, you fill that out and give it to your supervisor. Let's see. Was it an accident? Deborah says, was in an accident in December. It was never turned into workers' comp. Someone hit me while working, going through therapy. What do I do as far as the post office? So if you're in an accident in the course of duty in a car wreck, that's a third-party claim. So on your CA1 on, I forget, I think box, it's on the second page. Was it? Yeah, second page. Was injury due to a third party or caused by a third party? Yes, this is third party. Someone else hit you. You'd have to get a lawyer. Well, you can pursue the third party yourself, but the rules say that you are, or you may be required to pursue the third party. In other words, a PI claim. But don't call a local PI lawyer. You've got to call a federal lawyer. I'll tell you right now, we recommend Eric Blowers, but you can call any federal lawyer by Googling OWCP lawyer. And you'll find lots of them, actually. Some of them are okay, some of them are not good, and Eric is the best. But you choose. But you need a federal lawyer, and the federal lawyer will manage the federal and PI aspects of your claim. Once your claim settles, your lawyer will have to get permission from OWCP to settle it. That's something PI lawyers don't know. When you have a settlement, you get a minimum of 20% of the settlement after lawyer's fees or legal expenses. So it's a good deal for you, and it doesn't cut into the doctor. You don't have to deal with personal injury lawyers, and you get lifetime medical benefits by taking it through OWCP and not through a PI lawyer. So that's how you handle that. Dr. Kammerer is on. So Dr. K is in our Pinellas Park office. He is in charge of everything OWCP related for the two offices they've got, Pinellas Park and Palm Harbor, as well as the two that are coming online the next 30 days, St. Petersburg and Land O'Lakes, Florida. So everyone say hi to Dr. K. He likes to jump on and see what you all are talking about, learn more about what you're thinking. So I'd really appreciate if everybody would just say hi, give him a bunch of hearts or whatever. And yeah, we appreciate our doctors jumping on. I was at a meeting with him the other day with one of these surgeons. In fact, he wanted me to meet another shoulder surgeon. And Dr. K is in like beast mode 24/7 or 25/8. Okay, he's never not thinking about how to do better for his patients. So he gets me and Gini in a meeting with this surgeon so we can get him on board so he won't take your money either. So if you need shoulder surgery, he'll do it for no money out of your pocket. So Dr. K is intensely interested in what happens with you. He sees all the problems that you're going through, and he's working hard to solve it. And this guy could probably teach this stuff by now. I've been really impressed, so everyone say hi to him. He's incredible. Tammy Newman's watching. Hi, Tammy. Let's see. Juanita says, can I still file a grievance on 12/4/21 injury? My supervisor never gave me a CA-16, and yes, I had bills coming in from the hospital on that injury date. Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you. Whether you can or can't file a grievance is really a union question, because I know you have a timeline, and I don't know if it's 30 or 60 or 90 days or whatever, so I'd encourage you to go ask, because not every union contract is the same. But I like where your head's at. You didn't get a CA-16, file a grievance. But I want you to start filing a grievance in 4 hours and 1 minute, okay, not 2 or 3 months later. All right, Martha Ibarra, a letter carrier whose turn came up to become regular was denied because she got hurt on the job. The postmaster of the station said she wasn't making her regular because of her injury. Can they do that because she got hurt on the job? So can they do that is a funny question, because we have to point back to the contract with the union. I haven't read it. My gut feeling is there's probably something in there that allows this. But if not, your first question should be to your union. Is this okay? Do I have a grievance? Do I have an EEO claim? That's where I would go. And if that's happening to you, I'm very sorry. Let's see. Sherry, does a CA2 need to be accompanied with a narrative? That's a great question. So the Code of Federal Regulations tells the supervisors they should not wait on supporting documentation before submitting the CA1 or CA2 to OWCP. So they're not supposed to wait on it. Instead, what it says is within 30 days, you should have it submitted to OWCP yourself. In our offices, our doctors are charged with e-comping that for you. You can e-comp information as well. In fact, you should write your own employee statement every time you get injured. Every time it's a CA1 or CA2. Write a detailed employee statement and e-comp that right away. And by the way, you go to ecomp.dol.gov and create a profile. I went through this process today, just as a refresher course with one of our doctors in Miami, and I was shocked at how easy it was. It's like literally one page. You fill it out, and boom, you have an account on ecomp. So go to ecomp.dol.gov and register. Okay, from there you can upload documents all day long. You can also file your claims there. So no, it should not be accompanied by a narrative. You shouldn't expect that your supervisor even would understand what the doctor's saying. They don't have medical licenses. Let's see. OWCP changed my accepted conditions. Can they do that? They can do that if it's based on medical documentation from your doctor. So you'll have to find out what they use to base that on. Trista says, if my husband already had surgery and the surgeon said he would do a narrative for his CA2 before, but after surgery, he is now only saying he will with a lawyer. Could he contact the center you have and get a narrative done, or is it too late? It's never too late. If it was reported within 3 years, Trista, it's not too late. We've had people that come in to get a claim accepted, 2 years and 11 months later, and we can get the claim accepted. So it's definitely not too late. We'd be happy to help. For anybody that's interested in going to a Federal Injury Center's office, all you need to do is go to federalinjurycenters.com and click on the locations tab. It's at the very top, and it'll take you to a map and an alphabetical listing by state and a doctor's office. And right now there are 45 offices listed who are trained in a number of states, 18 or 19, and there are more coming soon, so stand by. For those of you that want to ask, are you going to get put an office in my city? The answer is yes. Eventually, it's just a matter of getting doctors to say yes and agree to this, because twisting their arm behind their back hasn't worked yet. Yep, Sherry, this is why Michigan needs a doctor. I know. We love Michigan. We want to have a doctor in Michigan worse than even you want to have a doctor in Michigan. But so far, the doctors in Michigan haven't said yes, so we're working on it. Let's see. Juanita just wants her supervisor to be held accountable. Ditto. That's like my favorite thing, when they get held accountable. Pat, I have a neck injury from April 2021. Claim was denied because the doctor failed to show cause, which happens all the time. Their narratives are bad. Started with Dr. Harper in August. We filed for reconsideration. According to the claims examiner, she processed it and sent on to quality assurance. I was told I was required to wait 3 months to hear from them. That's ridiculous. They don't have any timelines in writing. I don't know what they're saying. So I don't think so, but you may have to wait 3 months if they're totally backed up. At that time, I find out she's not on my case anymore, okay, because they may switch them out, and it never got done. Now they've done it. I now find out my health insurance stops soon. Is there anything I can do? I can't let it lapse, considering going ahead and retiring in order to keep it. I don't want you to have to retire. So the doctor, who's fantastic, by the way, who's gotten more injury claims accepted than anybody else that I know in this country, is your doctor. So that's great news. The narrative went in, and your claims examiner set on it. And I think what you need to do is get the new CA10, call that number at the bottom of the CA10, and explain the situation there, and say, look, just explain it. Like, somebody's gonna have to have some compassion for you. But I definitely don't want you to retire. If this is something that you want some extra help with, please message us here at this page on the messenger, and we'll have somebody call you and walk you through it. We definitely don't want this to go badly for you, any worse than it already has. Let's see. What if you file for COP a year later? Sorry. You got to file for COP within 30 days of your CA1 injury. Nothing anybody can do about that. Sorry. Let's see. Connie. I've been denied twice for my injury, have gone back to the doctor, but nothing seems to be getting done. My COP runs out the 19th. So, Connie, you got to be able to look at your denial letter and find out why they said they denied your claim. There's a paragraph that says specifically your claim is denied because. And then you've got to take that to your doctor and ask them to write a narrative report rebutting that, addressing the denial reason. If your doctor won't do that, I will strongly encourage you, in the strongest terms, to look at the locations tab at Federal Injury Centers and see if there's an office there that makes sense to you. Because if there's an office that makes sense that you can go to, we'll help you with that. How do I contact you without everyone getting my info? Deborah, send us a private message on Messenger at Facebook. Gini checks those messages, and we'll get back with you and help you out. Yeah, Chanel, oh wow, I waited for months for my DOL pay and never was informed about COP. So that's an issue. When I was on Mr. Hodge's podcast last night, check it out. It's called Hodge to Hodge. He's in Columbus, Ohio. He's a super guy. He does a injury podcast on Tuesday nights. So Tom and I usually get on. So I got on last night and we were talking about this. And one of the things we mentioned is that it's sad. There's so few of you that have this information. But here you are, Chanel, you're here. And now you have it. I wish you would have been here years ago so this didn't happen, right? But I would hope you will all see that, as well as the lady who had a $19,000 bill, and tell more people about this live broadcast. We do this every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if I can get to you before you have the problem, we can prevent the problem. But if I get to you or you get to me after the problem, we've got to work uphill fighting all day and all night to make it happen. We will do that for you, okay? We never give up. But it's a lot easier for you. Your life is a lot easier if you get to us fast. So would you please share this with everyone else? Tell your friends, go to work, and tell them how awesome this guy Chris was on Facebook and how they ought to be here next week to watch it. And next week we'll be live in Forest Park, Georgia at Dr. Cooper's office. Actually, we'll be in Phoenix City, Alabama at Dr. Cooper's office Wednesday night, and Thursday we'll be in Forest Park, Georgia. So if you're in the Atlanta and Phoenix City, Alabama, or Columbus, Georgia area, check us out. The invitations are on Wednesday night chats. Jeannie posted them, I think, yesterday or the day before. So come see us live. We really appreciate having you there in a live audience. I like to get to meet you. The doctors want to get to meet you. Dr. Cooper is 100% stoked for this. So come see us next week. We'll put more information about this probably by Monday because we fly out to Atlanta on Tuesday. Let's see. Using eComp makes management, HR more accountable for following these claims in the proper timeframes. I couldn't agree more, Melissa. That's exactly right. If we can just get everyone on board doing it, and then she said, and processing our 7 and 7As timely. That's exactly right. But Melissa, the problem people are having is they're processing them timely, they're filling out their forms perfectly, but they're not attaching the documentation so they can get paid. So they have to also attach a CA-17, CA-20, printout of their doctor's appointments, and a disability narrative written by their medical doctor, signed by their medical doctor, that explains medically why they had to be out of work. Let's see, Tammy said, they give you a prescription card and tell you you have to use it, that they will no longer reimburse you if you use your own insurance. So that's for medication, just so you know, Tammy. My case is under review and the card is being denied, so my script for BP is sitting at the pharmacy. I hate to use my own insurance because this is COVID related and I need the documentation as proof. So if you use your own insurance, which means you pay your own copays, and your COVID claim is approved, you can submit that with an OWCP 915 to get reimbursed. I know that's not ideal, but at least you can get your money back. Let us see. Yes, my claim has been approved since 2014, and yes, I have great doctors. That's awesome, Michelle. I'm happy about that. That you have a claim that's approved makes me super happy, and I'm glad you're glad about your doctors. I had a case in 96 with a different job. Can it be reopened? Any case that was previously approved can be reopened. It doesn't mean it absolutely will be, but it definitely can be. You have lifetime medical benefits. All right, Gina said, I submitted paperwork for a claim when I took 2 weeks of sick leave recommended by my doctor because my postmaster, who I have had issues with, get in line since day one, made comments to 2 separate coworkers threatening to kill you? Huh. My claim's been denied 3 times. Should I keep putting in for reconsideration, or do I even have a chance of winning this and getting my sick leave? I'm getting very discouraged. If your claim was timely filed, meaning within 3 years and legitimate, it should be approved. So, but your supervisor is threatening to kill you. Huh. I think I would call OSHA and ask if it's a safety violation for a supervisor to threaten to kill you because of a work injury. I think that's where I'd start. Let's see what happens from there. Also, I hope you're communicating this to your union. And if you want some extra help, and if you're in range of any of our offices at Federal Injury Centers, we'll be happy to help you. What an awful thing, threaten to kill you. Somebody needs to get their medicines checked. What do I do if they keep billing me and say, well, once you reach a certain percentage, you have to pay anyways? No. Definitely no. You are at a doctor who doesn't know how to bill OWCP. If you would like to have them call us, we will be glad to help you with your doctor, because you shouldn't have to pay anything. Our patients pay $0 and 0 cents forever, no matter what. Let's see, I was working 4 hours. My doctor takes me off from work for 2 weeks for treatment. DOL sends me a questionnaire. They want me to answer medical questions and see if it's a recurrence. What could I do? Answer honestly. Just answer the questions honestly. They're not trying with this. They're not trying to deny your claim. So just be as forthcoming as possible. And if you need help from your doctor, let your doctor help you fill it out. So Rich, I think I'm going to like this idea. I'd like to put a couple of my guys together to be responsible to help carriers out to file CA1 on eComp. Chris, one question I have regarding eComp. We file CA1 on eComp. Says tonight how we go about getting a CA16. You're still going to have, I get this. So when you go to eComp and fill out your CA1, you're still going to have to request from the supervisor a CA16. So you're still going to need to go and take my form that I created on Breaking OWCP on the free forms tab or free downloads, and tell your supervisor, I'm injured. I reported the same day because I reported now because that's the soonest possible time. And I'm doing what Chris said because I'm that smart, and I reported now. I want my CA16. Let them know they have 4 hours. Put them on notice. If I learned something new that you could electronically get a CA16, that would be magical, but also shocking. I'm seeing an OD doctor, and I had to see a psychiatrist. I had a report written and submitted from both. What other type of doctor? Gina, you don't need another kind of doctor. If that doctor is the specialist for your condition, you're good to go. What is the info for the lawyer you recommend? My husband's out because of back surgery on 3-1 and trying to get a CA2 finished. Surgeon's refusing to do a narrative for it without a lawyer, even though he said he would before scheduling the surgery. Okay, so I'm going to give you the lawyer information, but I'm going to tell you that the lawyer is not what you need the most. What you need the most is a doctor who will write a narrative. A lawyer, especially the lawyer I'm going to give you, is going to need a doctor to write a narrative. So the lawyer's name is Eric Blowers. We'll post his, I'm sure Jeannie's going to post it. So she will post it down below the comments, so take a look at that, Eric Blowers. But what you truly need, or your husband truly needs, is a doctor who will write a narrative. Without that doctor writing a narrative, a lawyer can't give a medical opinion on your husband's case. And I love our lawyer, and I'm going to tell you all about him, and you're going to get his contact information. I'm just telling you, you need a doctor. My claims examiner told me today they could find me a doctor for schedule award. I told them I'm dealing with Federal Injury Centers. That's what I'm talking about. And if they could find you a doctor to do schedule award, that'd be awesome too. But I'd be concerned who that doctor is looking out for, you or OWCP. I don't know. But yeah, take a look at federalinjurycenters.com. Coming soon, like this week, and this week is halfway done, there's going to be a tab that says Schedule Award Doctors, and I think we've got 5 offices listed there now that can do impairment ratings for your Schedule Award, so take a look at that. It's been a work in progress and a little bit painful, but we're finally making it happen. Okay. Supervisor won't turn in my CA1 and CA7. I want you to go, Brian, file an EEO claim. The CA7 means you're not going to get paid. I think that probably qualifies as not being treated fair or equally. You need to file a grievance because you're not getting paid and you're not getting to file your claim. And you need to contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, because your 6th employee right is the right to report a work injury. If your supervisor doesn't finish this job up, you're not reporting your injury. Okay, not officially. OWCP is never going to know about it. Those are 3 things I'd like you to do. Renee Marie, did I just mishear? Oh, brother, you probably didn't. What did I say? Did I just mishear, or did you say that doctors with your offices can file for you directly to eComp? I thought we had to submit everything ourselves from anywhere because It had to be connected to our account. Okay, so the doctors can file on eComp your medical narratives. Any documentation you need, your doctor can eComp. All of our 50 whatever offices eComp medical narratives themselves. As long as they know your name, your date of birth, and your claim number, they can upload documents to your eComp account. And so that's what I was talking about. But you still have to do all of your stuff. Brian says, wish there was one in Cleveland, Ohio. Brian, you're in luck. There's one in Cleveland, Ohio. So take a look. Go to federalinjurycenters.com and check the locations tab. Scroll down to Ohio, and you will see the Cleveland office, and you can call that phone number directly. Dr. O'Reilly and his staff are really great, and you'll be happy to go there. Sherry, does Chicago help with evaluation for scheduled awards? Sherry, not yet, but we're about to bring, I believe, a third office in that area on, and one of those three is going to be trained to do this pretty quick. So I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. Kentucky or Indiana doctors? When? So we're working with one, this is barely Indiana, but in South Bend, which makes me super happy as a Notre Dame fan. And then Kentucky is definitely on our list. Also Cincinnati, which gets us close to Kentucky, at least at borders. So we're always cognizant of like what's the surrounding area and how do we get close as possible. Because again, it's a matter of getting the doctors to say yes. We don't control their answers. We present this thing, and then they got to make a choice. So hopefully somebody will choose wisely soon for you. Let us see. Yeah, Brian, Cleveland's got an injury center. Check it out. My surgeon filed for my fusion surgery in September 21. And I'm still waiting for OWCP to approve it. My caseworker is so backed up, it's ridiculous. Hey, Melissa, one reason that it may not be approved yet is it depends on your approved condition. So I understand your surgeon wants a fusion. But if your approved condition, your diagnosis that is on OWCP is your accepted conditions, if it's like a sprain, they're never going to approve that surgery. So you need to check your approved diagnosis. If it's something that's not surgical, you're going to have to get a diagnosis expansion so that they'll understand you actually have a diagnosis that needs that surgery.
I'll read the questions.
Oh, look. Jeannie's back. She's going to start reading questions for me. You don't want to get on video?
No.
I don't know why she doesn't want to get on video.
I can't see where you are.
All right, so I'm at Holly Pelton. Should I have your OWCP lawyer talk with my PI lawyer about my third-party claim? DOL has already sent my lawyer information. I got my lawyer before I knew about y'all's lawyer. All right, so Holly, the deal is Eric or any lawyer could be disbarred for talking to you when you are already represented by somebody else. Your lawyer could call Eric, and that's probably the best way to go. Brian, my supervisor is playing games, won't turn on my CA1. Well, Brian, play games right back. And EEO, grievance, and OSHA.
I'll let everybody know that if they mute their phone, it is available for closed caption.
Yeah, mute your phone. You can see the closed captioning. If you need the closed captioning, mute your phone. If you don't need the closed captioning and you mute your phone, you're going to stop hearing me, just so you know. Judy, I've tried calling, and we're going to fix this for you. I've already read this in advance, but I tried contacting your Federal Injury Centers Memphis several times this week with no response.
I took that. I answered that. I'm going to call.
Okay, so Jeannie's going to handle that for you. We're really sorry. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's unusual. Dr. Wooten's intensely interested in helping you. Marty Perez Giampa. I understand there are 3 clinics in Ohio, Cleveland, Columbus, Medina. Could describe the services offered. So if you go to federalinjurycenters.com to the locations tab, you will see all the offices that we've got that are trained and ready to go. You'll notice that there's one in Westerville, Medina, and Westerville's like right outside of Columbus, Medina, and then Cleveland. And describing their services is simple. They get your claims accepted. They are multidisciplinary, all of them, with medical, chiropractic, massage, and they're able to get your claim approved, handle any pain conditions you have, do therapy, fill out your forms like your CA-17s, They will accept your CA-16s and never take money from you. And even if you don't have a CA-16, they will never, ever take money from you. When we get the claim approved, then they'll start getting paid from DOL. No problem. They're happy to wait. They're only waiting as long as you do. So it's not more painful for the doctor than it is for you. So we wait to get paid. You never owe anything. But if you have a problem with a claim and you're in those areas, you should stop having those problems and call the offices directly with the phone numbers that are on the website on the locations tab. Michael Suma, what's up? So Dr. Suma works with Dr. K in the Pinellas Park, Florida office, and he's going to be moving up, if he hasn't already, he's going to be moving up to Land O'Lakes, Florida. He'll be running that location. And Dr. Suma is well-trained as well. These guys are young and hungry and refuse to lose. So you got to give them a call. If you're in the Pinellas Park, or let's just say you're in the Tampa Bay area, you can contact Palm Harbor, Pinellas Park. They're going to have St. Pete and Land O'Lakes coming soon. They'll be listed on our website as well. We're very, very close to having that ready to go. And if you're having any problems in the Tampa Bay area, anywhere in the Tampa Bay area, you call Federal Injury Centers. We will help you. Okay, we get claims accepted. That's our specialty. So give them a call. Dr. Suma, Dr. K, thanks for being on tonight.
Tanya said, I don't understand when and how to file my reconsideration if I don't have a new narrative. Do I just sign it and upload on eCom?
So what you got to do, Tanya, when you want to do reconsideration is you got to get your reconsideration in within 12 months of the denial. And with your reconsideration, you can eComp your appeal request form. Check reconsideration on it. And then you need to upload also a short document that you type up that explains why you're requesting reconsideration, on what grounds. You know, there's new information from my doctor is a good one, by the way. My doctor is going to present new information. And then from there, your doctor should upload a new narrative report very fast. I'd say within a week. Get it uploaded to eComp so the claim examiner will review that new information from your doctor.
Dr. Cooper is on.
Dr. Cooper is on. So Dr. Cooper, I mentioned earlier, we're going to be there next week on Wednesday and Thursday in his two offices, Phoenix City, Alabama, which is basically Columbus, Georgia, and Forest Park, Alabama, which is kind of like Atlanta. So we're going to be in both offices. He's having open houses that start at what time? 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday in Phoenix City, Alabama. 6:30 p.m. on Thursday in Forest Park, Georgia. If you go back and look, I'd say 2 weeks ago, Dr. Cooper posted a video that we shared here of his office. It is one of the most fantastic offices I've ever seen. It's got what's called a C-arm. It's this thing that's like on an arm with a C, and it has, it's like x-ray in there, fluoroscopy. And he can look inside your knee or inside your shoulder and do an injection to the exact spot that it's needed. These are so cool, and Dr. Cooper's medical staff love doing these injections. They're very good at it. But take it from me, I'm somebody with terrible bad knees, and when I get these injections, it's like a shock absorber in your knees. And for letter carriers who are walking 8 to 10 miles a day for 20 to 30 years, your knees wear out over time. I know, okay? I don't carry the mail, but my knees are wore out. I can only imagine what you're going through. So if you're somebody whose knees are just worn out because of years of walking, you probably have a CA2 claim. If you're not sure if your knee issues are related to the job, go see Dr. Cooper or go see your doctor wherever you are and ask, what's going on with my knee? Is this work-related? If it is, go fill out a CA2 and get help, because that's something you can get help for.
Jacob Clark said, I just got my schedule award approved thanks to this channel and all the guidance. My first paycheck will be on March 18th.
Congratulations, a approved schedule award with paychecks to follow.
Brian said, I've never gotten paid for being out with COVID for 4 months.
Wow. So first of all, Brian, you got to get that claim approved by OWCP. You can do that on eComp. I recommend it if you haven't done that already. You have 3 years, so it's not like you missed a deadline. And once you get it approved, you can go and get your time back with CA7s.
Maria Portal said, what if you're going to work, but you have to take a day off for a doctor appointment because unlike the city craft, we can't clock in and go to our appointments?
If you take any part of a day off, it counts as a whole day. They're not going to have you come back. So you're going to basically take an entire day of L1 for that.
Say your name, okay?
Well, remind me.
Yeah, Maria Portal.
Oh, yeah, so Maria, that is, for rural carriers have to take a whole day. You can't take a part of the day off.
Janice Spencer said, I referred an injured mail handler to the Miami office. She messaged me today after her appointment and was so grateful.
Well, thank you so much for that, Janice. We're really happy to help folks in Miami. In fact, that's who I was on the phone with today. I spent just over 2 hours talking with Dr. Giuliani, who is the doctor in Miami. Her and her nurse practitioner and her medical doctor are doing a really good job of getting these reports written very succinctly so these claims get accepted. So I'm glad people are happy.
Cynthia Zander said, does a chiropractor count as a doctor?
Cynthia, a chiropractor, let me answer this 2 different ways. A chiropractor is a doctor. Trust me. Do they count as a doctor in OWCP? Well, OWCP and the Code of Federal Regulations, where they get this from, says that a chiropractor is a physician insomuch as they're diagnosing and treating subluxations. Okay? But it also says in letter D of that same code that they can also do services in the nature of physical therapy as long as it's prescribed and supervised by an MD. So your chiropractor actually can do a lot in OWCP, not to mention that they can assist doctors with musculoskeletal evaluations and writing narratives. A medical doctor can get anybody they want to help write these, and who's better at musculoskeletal conditions than chiropractors?
Janice said, if the supervisor answers your CA1 right away, at the end of their portion, it asks them if they want to print a CA16 for you.
Oh, well, that's great information, Janice. So so Janice said that, and I'm not a federal employee, so I can't go and do this. I'd like to see screenshots of it if anybody wants to show it to me. That'd be awesome. If you take screenshots of your experience filing your claim on eComp, take the screenshots and email them to Chris, C-H-R-I-S, at federalinjurycenters.com. Chris at Federal Injury Centers. Where's it at? There's an S on the end. federalinjurycenters.com. I'd love to see screenshots of it. Every time I ask, people send this stuff to me, so whatever you help me with, I'll be able to help a lot of other people with. But that's awesome. So what she said is it tells the supervisor to get a CA16. But they're still not doing it? What the heck? So be sure you go and say, hey, supervisor, John, Mary, whatever, Joe, Jane, there's a CA1 coming your way on eComp. Be sure you give him my CA16.
Carol Marchand said, do we get to pick what doctor we go to for 6th edition, or does OWCP pick your doctor?
Carol, you can choose any doctor that's trained to do 6th edition impairment ratings. Nobody can choose doctors for you.
Ms. Hell said, my doctor said I have reached my MMI. Can you guys help writing a narrative to file a schedule award? If so, how will that work?
Okay, so if you're truly at MMI, you'd have to take your records to another doctor if your doctor can't do it. You'd bring your records and let that doctor do an evaluation by the 6th edition to permanent impairment. They'll give you that report. You can send it off with your CA7. Like I said, I'm going to have a page up soon. I wish it was already there, but by Friday, I hope, that'll show you which of my doctors are already trained to do 6th edition ratings. And if any of it makes sense, you're welcome to give them a call.
Lanaya Russell said, I was out starting end of May and didn't get surgery until December 2021 for torn ligament, and from being in a boot for so long, I believe it has irritated my low back. They said they will deny it. Honestly, don't remember if I ever did, but even so, from when I used my car for delivery.
I got this for sure.
Okay.
So what she's saying is that she had a knee injury, and due to the knee injury, now the lower back is hurting. That's called a consequential injury. This is something that's covered by OWCP. They're saying that in this case, if you didn't ever have the knee injury, your back would be fine. So, but for the knee injury, you wouldn't have this problem. So because you have the knee injury, you do have the problem. So it's a consequence of the knee injury. Whoever they said that'll never get approved. Well, tell they that they are wrong, because consequential injuries get approved all the time. Our doctors do it in their sleep.
Tell Brian Rombowski I got his message and I will message him.
Brian, she's going to message you.
Miss Hall, she said, love Gini. I love you guys too.
Hey, I love her too. Imagine that.
Kathy said, I'm on COP until March 19th. Will work comp start paying after that? I have FMLA case number. Should I submit an FMLA leave request to get paid sick leave? I cannot afford to miss paychecks. I'm single with no other means of support except myself.
Got it. So you're on COP. Your question is, after COP, will they just start paying me? No, they won't. you have to get that claim accepted. When the claim's accepted, you can start getting paid back with a CA7 after COP. So if your claim's not accepted, that's a problem, okay? We hate that. We want your claim accepted before COP runs out. But if it runs out, then you have to use your sick and annual leave. You can use Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA, that's a federal law, to protect your job while you're out of work on sick and annual. But at some point, if that claim's not approved, you're going to be going back to work because you won't have any way to be off work and get paid. And if you can't work due to an injury, you're going to be stuck in a bad spot. So we want to be able to help you with that. If you are close to any of our offices, we'll help you at federalinjurycenters.com, locations tab.
Kathy said, I've had to pay for a full-time caregiver to help me because I broke my dominant arm and my left hand is stupid. Can I get reimbursed from work comp? If so, what do I submit? I have paid him by check and he has been doing everything since my accident February 4th.
Yeah, that's something that could be reimbursed, but your claim's got to be accepted. And once it's accepted, you need to turn in an OWCP 915. It's a claim for reimbursement. And attach your receipts, and you may even need your doctor to write a letter of medical necessity as to why that was necessary for you.
Gerald Adams, hello.
What's up?
Hey, Chris and Jeannie, if you join one of your centers and they close, what is the procedure if you do not have another location to join? If you're going to one office and then if they close?
That's a good question. You have a choice of doctor. We don't like it when an office closes, by the way, but a lot of businesses have closed in the last couple of years.
Our office has not closed.
We did have a couple of locations that did close down. It did happen. He may be referring to one of them.
Oh.
It happens, okay? Thank God we've had more that open than closed. But you can take your records anywhere, and you can give us a message on Facebook and let us know where you're at and see if we can help you, because I'm not into just leaving you stranded.
Tammy Wilkes said, I was told by DOL I have to use Optimum prescription card and they will not reimburse any longer. My case was closed and now under review, so the card is being denied.
So that sucks. I mean, if they're telling you to use it, use it. It's only for prescriptions. Hopefully you don't need too many of those, because in the long run they're not really good for you anyways. But that's what you have to use. If you're not able to use it, you're going to have to, use health insurance or pay for it out of your pocket and get reimbursed later. Things that are closed can be reopened. Things that are denied can be approved. So just remember that.
Carol Jarman said, do you have to be back to work to claim your schedule award?
You definitely do not have to be back to work to claim a schedule award. You just have to be alive. So if you live until the age of 120, you can do a schedule award then.
Pat Hartman said, the phone number on the CA10 is the same one I have been calling. When you put your case number in, it sends you to your claims examiner, who is being no help. What to do?
I was afraid of that, that phone number would be totally useless. Initially, I was excited that it was there in the first place because so many people have a hard time reaching their claims examiner. But now we're just right back stuck in a holding pattern, and there's nothing any of us can do about it.
Carol said, if you received a schedule award after MMI, can you reopen your case if the injury gets worse and go back to the doctor? You
can always have a claim reopened. You have lifetime medical benefits. So if you get worse after an impairment rating schedule award, you can definitely go back to the doctor.
Wanda Oliver said, why are schedule awards granted? How, when can you qualify?
Well, they're granted as a right as a federal employee. It's just one of your federal employee rights. You qualify by reaching maximum medical improvement, or MMI, which is a medical decision. Your doctor says, hey, we've done all the treatment we can, and this is as good as you're going to get. And from that point, after that medical decision is made by your doctor, you get a 6th edition impairment rating. Too many doctors only do the 5th. If they do the 5th edition, you're getting paid 0. So make sure you get a 6th edition impairment rating from your doctor or any doctor that knows how to do it, and attach that to a CA7 claim for compensation. Check letter D, schedule award, fill out page 1, supervisor fills out page 2, attach your impairment rating, and send that in to your claims examiner. That's a lot of work, a lot of stuff to remember, but if you had book 2, you'd have all that information about a schedule award and a page that shows you how to calculate. Look, I just turned to the right page by accident. How to calculate your award yourself. So if you want to have some sort of an idea of what your award would be, this book and that chapter will tell you. Again, these are found at breakingowcp.com, and for just $5 a book, you can put them in your pocket.
Debbie said that she was bit by a dog July 2021 by 2 dogs. Her supervisor never submitted a claim. Had to deal with all related hospital ambulance bills sent to me. September, a claim was filed. I grieved and got paid back finally. X days, sick and vacation days. They charged me with instead of COP. Today I received a letter. It's been determined that you are not entitled to COP during your absence from work. Injury was not reported on the form approved within 30 days following the injury. Should I be concerned?
Okay, so what they're saying is you didn't report your CA1 dog bites within 30 days. That seems hard to believe, but that's what they're saying. And as a result, you don't get COP because you've got to report within 30 days to be eligible for continuation of pay. So once the claim is approved, and if it is now, great, you fill out CA7 forms, attach all the documentation we talked about, turn that in to get paid with LWOP.
They want to know when your 3rd book is coming out.
So, interesting. Will you find it here that's in a stack, that printout I had? So, I've been working very hard on it. Gini and I spent the weekend in Texas with my son and my best friend. It was his birthday. And while I was there, I've been writing this thing, okay? And here is a printout of book 3. I'm working on it. I don't know if that's going to be the final cover or not. But I'm really excited about it. Eric Blowers is writing a chapter on third-party claims because too many people, there's like 26,000 postal-employed car accidents every year. And like 25,900 of them call their local PI lawyers and get hosed. So we want to stop that. So that's going to be in there. And then also I'm highlighting some special rules. I've got some new sections on, like there's one, like the 7 things that you can do to make sure you don't have your claim denied, just to have success. So I'm putting a lot of new stuff in there too that I've been thinking about. Truthfully, I did put some of the stuff from here and there, but that's because if I'm going to have rules, I want them all. If you happen to go to the 3rd book to look for a rule, you're going to find all the rules. But I'm working hard on it, and I've got some neat ideas for it. I'm going to try to make it different, maybe a little more interactive than the first 2. But I'm working. I don't know when it's going to be ready.
Tell them all the information all our information for our locations, to call me, to buy the book is pinned down below. Click the pin and all of that will pop up if you want to buy the book because they're asking.
Yeah, and if you want it, it's great. But remember, whatever you do, whatever device you download it on, if you download it to a tablet, you download it to a desktop computer, a laptop computer, or a phone, okay, be sure you email it to yourself so it can ultimately get to your phone. Whatever you do, or if you're like especially techie and you can attach a USB from your computer to your phone and drag and drop it, do that too. But at very least, just email it to yourself, open it on your phone, and save it there in your files. I did that. iPhone has a folder called Files, and inside of that had a folder called Downloads. So I just put it in my Downloads folder. And I put them both in there and then reviewed all the pages to make sure they work right, and they do. I want you to put Breaking OWCP in your pocket. But be sure you get used to the table of contents first, because when you need it now.
Melissa Ross said, thank you guys for all you do for training doctors across our nation. It is so important to get trained doctors willing to do the paperwork to help federal employees get the care and help needed. You guys are awesome.
You're welcome, Melissa, and we really appreciate that. And for those of you that are new here, this is our passion. It's all we do. We help federal employees with their injuries. We usually just go an hour, and there's usually 2 of us here. She's over there tonight. And we're going a little more than an hour, but it's fine. Anyways, be sure you're coming back every Wednesday night. Be sure you're checking out the books. And also be sure you're sharing and liking and following this page.
Tammy says, does the Silver Springs office do schedule awards?
Not yet, Tammy, but you can count the numbers of offices in the country that do schedule awards probably on 2 hands, or that at least will promote themselves and let you know that that's the case. They're really hard to find. So just because they don't do it yet doesn't mean they won't do it, because eventually we will all be doing it.
Mr. Kerry Clarkson said, look forward to seeing you guys at the Virginia Beach in April for training.
No, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm glad that came up. So we're going to be in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Yeah.
Doing an OWCP training. Now that the lockdowns are over and you guys are doing live events, we've been getting invited to a lot of live trainings like state conventions, national conventions, local meetings, area meetings. multi-state meetings, and we're like our April and May are really right. April and May are just getting booked, and we love it. Okay, before COVID, we were traveling around everywhere doing this live and talking in person to hundreds of people at a time. During COVID, when I couldn't do that, that's why I wrote these books. Because I'm not getting the information out the way I used to, so I put it all in books so you could have it anyways. Book 3 is coming soon, but now we're being invited to these live events, and I think it was all instigated by our Allentown event, a couple of months ago. That's okay. She's like, don't say that. Look, we were there. It was live. Everybody knows it happened. But since then, everyone's coming out saying, wow, what about me? And the answer is, get in line. We want you. We're ready. So we just need an official invite from one of your union leaders, a president, vice president, secretary, OWCP rep, whatever, to make it official. I don't want to show up and crash a party I wasn't officially invited to.
Carol Martin said, your new doctor at the Bremerton Clinic is wonderful. I saw him today.
Yeah, hey, there's actually 3 doctors there, and so we're really excited that you're happy. I'm really glad you're happy. We had a Zoom call with them a couple of weeks ago, and I was really, really optimistic about their level of understanding of OWCP. That's great.
Rhonda Hale said, what is the procedures to go back to the doctor for a reoccurrence? Do I need to inform my supervisor? Should I go during work hours?
Okay, so for a recurrence, remember what I said earlier, it may not be. It may be, but it may not be, right? So I recommend going to your doctor outside of work hours and consulting with your doctor to make sure that what you have is indeed a recurrence. Because it could be something new that would be filed on a CA1 or CA2, and you want to get that right.
Rich said...
Oh, and then report it to your supervisor next.
Rich wants to know, are we going to be on next week, Wednesday? And is there an app to put the book in? Just curious.
Holy cow, Rich. I was just thinking about how I needed to put my book in an app.
Yep.
I was just thinking that today. So that's cool that we're reading each other's minds. I was reading yours earlier too. And yeah, we're going to be on live next week.
Margaret Allen, tell her to message me privately.
Margaret Allen, message Jeannie privately.
Thank you, Jeannie. You both are the best, but you're prettier than Chris. I didn't want to miss the deadline and more work.
That could be, don't even tell me who said it, let me guess. It could be any of my friends.
Maria Portal said, I mentioned you to our union rep president. Hopefully he will reach out to you for our upcoming meeting.
Thanks, Maria. Hey, look, we're really excited about this. I get to do this here live, which is great. I can teach thousands and thousands of people here. Thousands of people have the book. That's cool. The new book's coming. But there's nothing more exhilarating than being in front of 100 or 200 people, being able to answer your questions in person, be able to present it in person with like a big screen above me. It's a lot of fun. So I hope we'll get more invites. We love doing that.
Judy said, if you have to travel miles from home for a schedule award, doctor, can you claim for travel?
You can claim travel on an OWCP 957 for anything related to your accepted injury, including a schedule award doctor. But keep in mind, they'll only pay miles up to 100 miles round trip. If you're going to go further, you're going to need to get approval from your claims examiner in advance for the reimbursement.
Angela said, where do we find your travel schedule live in Virginia?
So, yeah, we had one, and then we did all of those, and now we've got another one, and we're going to do all of those. We'll try to post them as we go.
Rich Wright said, Chris, you pretty to me also.
Rich is my boy.
Lola Hoa said, Lola from Houston, hello, I'm so glad to be a part of your lives to receive all your contacts with OWCP. I have 2 claims. Do you have knowledge of union issues, and what do you do? Website or agency recommended?
All of that, yes to all the above. And you got union people on here too, so let us know what your union you're in. You can probably get specialized union help on this page. I mean, for example, Rich was just talking to me. He's an NALC president in New York. So let us know. But yeah, we can help you with pretty much anything related to OWCP. You can just give us a message here on private messages on Messenger, and we'll be glad to help.
If they want to know how to get the books again, they can either click the pin or tell them the website.
Okay, so a lot of you now are asking for the book, and I got to tell you, this is like super humbling. I never thought that I'd be an author, honestly. But here they are. You can find them at breakingowcp.com, of course, www.breakingowcp.com. And also, Jeannie pinned it at the bottom. You could click it there. And they're only $5 now because I do have a few of these left in paperback. You can still buy these, and I'll still ship them to you. That's fine. And I lowered the price even more in case people still wanted them. But what I really want you to do is buy the downloads and put your phone in your pocket. Have these on your person at all times.
They want to know if you're going to do ebooks.
Okay, so the closest thing I've got to an ebook now is a PDF download. But while I was in Texas, I was looking at these things, and they got like these flipping books where the pages turn and they're interactive, and you can put audio and video embedded in them. I'm working on that. I'm thinking if I can figure it out, my third book will be that, and which is an ebook.
Kathy said, thank you so much for answering my questions. I put in a call to a federal work comp lawyer a while ago and was told that they would get back to me soon, but it's been a week and still nothing. So thank you so much for some answers. I'd be lost without you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And again, we hope we can help you. Most of the time, if you find the right doctor, you don't need a lawyer. And if you find the right doctor soon enough, you'll never need a lawyer.
Sherry said, I bought both books just now. I added them to my home screen.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Thank you, Sherry. And and if you have any questions about them, feel free and contact me. And that goes for all of you. Chris at federalinjurycenters.com. If you're reading through and something just doesn't make sense, ask me. I'll clear it up for you.
And Bama says, if I'm established at the Federal Injury Centers in North Carolina, and I'm going to visit Florida for a few weeks, and there is a Federal Injury Center in the area in Florida, am I allowed to do therapy in the Florida location?
Yeah, so Bama, by the way, we met, me and Bama and Gini, in Charlotte. So thanks for being here. Yes, if you're going to be out of town on vacation, remember this. Number one, you're on vacation. Don't claim LWOP. You're on vacation, okay? Use vacation time if you're going to be on vacation. But while you're there, yeah, get a referral from the Charlotte office, and you can bring that referral to any doctor, including a doctor in Florida, and they can operate based on that referral. The referral's got to be signed by your medical doctor.
Cynthia said, download to a file in Google Drive, OneDrive.
Yeah, that's another way you can do it. You can download it to Google Drive or OneDrive. That's right.
Jackie Robinson said, I'm so glad you're doing everything in your power to help us who are injured and don't know what to do when they're injured. I'm going to the Federal Injury Center, and they are wonderful. Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you so much. And I want to take a minute to remind everyone that on Tuesday nights, you can go to Kenny Hodge's podcast. Kenny Hodge does, it's Hodge to Hodge.
Hodge Radio.
Hodge to Hodge Radio. But look it up. And she posted a link to it last night because I was on live there. I recommend you go check out Mr. Hodge as well. He's a mail handler. He's been a president. He is well versed in OWCP. And me and or Tom get on Tuesday nights with Mr. Hodge, and we talk this stuff live there as well.
Okay, I'm not finding. Okay, they're not finding the pin. Ask them to look at the bottom of the screen, and you'll see a blue pin. Tap it. Like a push pin. Like
she just said, check the blue push pin at the bottom of the screen. That'll get you there. But you can just open another browser and go www.breakingowcp.com.
Guys, don't forget to come visit us Wednesday in our Phoenix City grand opening meet and greet. Dr. Cooper said it's going to be bodacious.
Oh, it's going to be off the chain. I've been wanting to say off the chain all day.
He's got food, drinks. DJ.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, he's making it happen.
All right, that's it.
That's all the questions. Well, look, we went 18 minutes over. I'm going to go a little longer. I was really glad to be here. I didn't really enjoy the start to this thing without Jeannie here to start it. Normally she'll say, hello, or whatever, and I can't do it. I just sound like the movie phone guy. Hello, and welcome to Movie Phone. Those of you that are my age and older, you know what that is.
Sherry said, can I contact you guys privately? I'm an injured mail handler. I need help getting my case expanded.
Sherry, we would be more than happy to help you or any mail handlers with diagnosis expansions, consequentials, new injuries, denials, whatever. Yeah, give us a call.
Donna said, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Lola said, thank you. I will personally message you after the live. Everybody's buying books.
So listen, you'll all be doing me a big favor if you would not leave this page without hitting the follow button and sharing it to your page. Please just follow and share this thing, because when you follow it, if you're not already, you get notified when we post stuff. You get notified when we're live, in case you forget. And when you share it, you're able to help somebody else not show up 3 years from now saying, I wish I would have known about you 3 years ago. So
Right.
help me out, and by sharing to people that I haven't been able to reach yet.
Brian Rambowski said, I'm interested in the books.
Well, Brian, go to breakingowcp.com. For $10 and change due to the tax, you can have them both on your phone in your pocket.
Oh, Linda Carter said, thank you. Judy said, consider yourselves hugged for all you do.
Thank you. We look forward to meeting you in person and getting that hug for real.
Brian said, you guys are so helpful. Thank you. I just want to let you know that.
You're welcome, Brian.
Bama said, thank you. Y'all are awesome.
And Bama, when you're in Florida, let us know. We're going to come see you. We
Gerald,
live close to
Adam,
the Florida offices.
Gerald, I did read your message. I didn't skip you. If you have something else, let me know. I'll read it.
Yeah, Gerald, she didn't skip any messages, but if you didn't catch it, will you just repost it? And I'll hang around for a minute and make sure I get your question taken care of.
Sherry wants to know, what is our contact info?
Sherry, the best way to contact us quickly is to go on this Facebook app, on the Messenger app, and send us a message to Wednesday night OWCP chats.
Sonia Young said, using this site to learn my new job as a processor. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, that's awesome. I'm really glad that you're able to do that.
Judy Sullivan said, thank you so much for all the valuable information. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you too, and all of you. Okay, well, that's it, everyone. We got through all the questions. I'm glad Gini came in and helped me out at the end. I needed a lifeline so I could drink my water, and it was lemon water tonight, folks.
Oh, Kathy said, and your federal work comp lawyers in Oklahoma.
Sorry. But, hey, Kathy, the good news is your federal work comp lawyer doesn't need to be in your state, your city, your county. It can be anywhere in the country, including Alaska. And for those of you from Alaska, your lawyer can be in North Carolina.
And tell her to message me. I'll get her.
Yeah, Jeannie will help you with that. If you actually need a lawyer, she'll help you. But if what you really need is a doctor, she'll tell you.
Sherry said, thank you guys so much. I hope you realize how much good you are doing in the world.
Well, thank you, Sherry. Look, we really appreciate the nice feedback. And the other thing I'll tell you is I would like it if you would all go back to your union presidents and tell them to check this out. There's too many locals that don't know about us yet. And, you've been here and you see that there's nothing here but good, clean information. So we want to have more people learn about this stuff. And most of the unions, unfortunately, don't have all the knowledge that I have because I only have to know one thing and they have to know a whole bunch of stuff. I only had to know one thing and I had years to learn it better than anybody else. Right, 20 years. So let your local presidents know that I'm here and available to help. No strings attached. I'll take your help or I'll give you help even if I don't have a doctor in your area. I'll give you help even if I do have a doctor in your area and you want to go to another doctor. I don't care about that. We provide doctors to you as a service to you because we know you need them. If you want to go to another one, we're still going to help. So please let your union leaders know that we are available to give all the help that is needed.
Gerald Adams said, I have both of your books, but I need to see you guys.
He needs to see us?
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
When we come to Virginia.
Yeah, when we're in Virginia, we'll look forward to meeting up with you.
Carol Jarman said, if I have any questions after tonight, can I get in touch with Miss Jennifer in San Antonio because I have a question pertaining to me going back to work and getting my schedule award.
Yeah, you definitely can reach out to us. Our phone number is 877-787-OWCP. If you call it, Jeannie's the one that answers that. If you call it, she's on another line. She's going to hit a button that says I'm on another call, and I'll get back to you. That'll go to you by text. Feel free to start sending her text messages. Blow her text messages up at that point because she will respond, and if she doesn't know the answer, she knows where to find me.
Sherry said, I have already texted my union president your direct link. Carroll Stream, Illinois, will be in your near future. Haha.
Excellent. Yeah, hey, we love Illinois. We were just there, and we were able to teach, I think, nearly 200 people, and that was really refreshing. That was after being able to have a nice audience in Pennsylvania. So we're really looking forward to the upcoming union events that we've been invited to. We're humbled by that.
Kathy said, thank you. Angelina said, Jeannie, you'd both be great on TikTok. Angela from Virginia.
So Jeannie does TikTok.
Not like crazy.
She dabbles in TikTok, okay? I mean, we have kids and lives, and we're older, and we don't do social. She does social media a lot, okay? But some of the stuff comes out new, and we didn't grow up with it. But I did 2 TikTok videos.
Leslie Minor.
Neither one of them were any good.
Leslie Minor said, is it possible to have your staff look at the report for my second opinion appointment?
I'll look at it myself. Chris at federalinjurycenters.com.
Lola said, yes, thank you for the extra 18 minutes. Judy, you're a lifesaver. Keep being the light to us in our dark place. Thank you, Lola.
Yeah, of course, Lola. We're happy to have you here, and we're happy to help.
Renee Marie said, we need Jeannie to publish a cookbook after book 3 comes out.
Okay, look. We have a cookbook in process, too. The reason that is because she's such a good cook. The problem is that I have to put the book together, and I got other things I'm writing, like all the content that's ever been written at Federal Injury Centers, on Wednesday Night Chats, on Breaking OWCP, including Book 3. Look, you wouldn't even believe the volumes and volumes of stuff that I've written over the last few years. It's actually, when I think about it, it sounds like insanity to write that much stuff. But there's a cookbook coming too.
Brian said, you guys need to come to Cleveland Branch 40 Union. If
Yeah.
you invite us.
Yeah, hey, and my partner Tom lives there in Ohio. He lives near Dayton. And so it's no problem for us to get anywhere in Ohio. None whatsoever. If it's not me, it's him. We can always help everyone in Ohio. All right, folks, that is it for tonight. It's been fun. Next week will be a lot more fun for you because Jeannie will be on.
Oh, boy.
So thanks for sticking with me to the end. For those of you that are planning on putting my books in your pocket, good for you. Be sure your supervisors know that they have no power over you. All the power is in your pocket, every bit of it. So have a good night. We'll see you next week. Be safe
Bye,
out there.
everyone.